American slavery happened in America, not Africa. Yes. So what the fuck are you talking about?
Then we can't have a global unification of the black diaspora.
What are you unifying around? Black people. Which black people? All black people. No, there is no such thing. This is a mistake. We are the only ones who walk the earth, and as soon as you see a black person at the air, go, oh, brother. No, I'm not your brother. No, I'm not your brother. No, I'm not your brother. We think that skin color makes you and me safe, but not.
You can get money, but you can't, because we can only just link it to people who are directly affected by it. So he's choosing to define his blackness by white.
Did you say geography?
No. And this is why I say, like, anyone who's on that AR shit, it's just about, like you said, it's about the check.
1964, Lyndon Baines Johnson, who was one of the most racist on the planet, had to sign that civil rights. You know, Martin King said, so that is the reason why Koreans could come here, Indians, Arabs, Nigerians. Mm-hmm. It's because of the Civil Rights Bill, because of African Americans, foundational black, coming in here, busting their ass, being hung, lynched, Jim Crow, segregation, Reconstruction.
Anyone who's on the ADOS shit is just about, like you said, it's about the check.
Anyone who's on the ADOS shit is just about, like you said, it's about the check.
Let me make the distinction or the delineation. I'm a foundational black American. My mama black, my daddy black. I did not come from any place other than here. I don't go to Jamaica and speak on what's happening in the grill. I do not go to Ghana and speak what's happening in Ghana. I do not go to Nigeria and talk about what's happening in Lagos because it's none of my business. It is not my place. When you come over here from the Caribbean, from Africa, from South America, whichever type of black that you are, you get an immigrant experience. You do not have 400 years of chattel slavery hanging over your head. You do not know anything about Jim Crow, and you do not understand what is happening to us directly. You catch a little bit of an incident here and there because you look like us. So I'm gonna need everybody who's not a foundational black American to stay the hell out of my conversation, understand it's not your place, and realize that we have things to do.
Battleground between foundationally black Americans, descendants of people who've been here for generations, some beyond the slave trade, some of us have been here for thousands of years, and then those of us who just got here recently. And what a lot of the FBA people are doing is they're doing a necessary task, I believe, even though I'm not engulfed into the community.
Who doing it?
Tariq is a part of it in a way, but there's a lot of people involved with it. And it basically is a matter of identity, like meaning that all the things that we've sacrificed and fought for in this country, other people of African descent that are more recent to this country or have been able to benefit from it without the sacrifice. Right now, people are drawing a line in the sand and saying, hey, man, you can't come here claiming to be black, but not have any of the blood, sweat, and tears, and also not fall in line with what we're trying to accomplish. You can't undermine what we've built in this country, which has been a very, 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 very big problem for at least the last 100 years. Us paving the way, dying, fighting, going against the system, drawing a line in the sand and really trying to do things that could progressively benefit us. And then they play with immigration and allow others to come into the country and benefit from something that they're not willing to sacrifice anything for. As a matter of fact, a lot of them have left their countries where they should be staying and fighting and have come here where it's easier because we've already paved the way.
Oh my God. When we try to get our own reparations here, I'm just trying to ask you, what's your problem? Y'all have reparations going on. What's your problem with me getting mine?
Is $2,034.
What's your problem with me getting my reparations?
Your level of ignorance and how you go about getting.
So because I want reparations, you call it ignorant?
No, because you don't.
What makes you think you have a right to my birthright? Why are you even talking to me about it?
So why do you feel like I can't talk to you about it?
Because you really have no claim to it. So if you're not contributing to the conversation and you're not helping and you're down to me, you should really shut the fuck up.
So because I'm African, I don't have a claim to it.
What you mean you don't? It's called American Descendants of Slaves, my G.
I was born in Texas.
My G, it's called American Descendants of Slaves. Your parents are not American descendants of slaves.
Hello?
Your parents are from Africa, correct?
Yes.
That means you have no fucking, they didn't fucking pick no cotton here. They wasn't brought over here in fucking slavery. They just got over here in fucking last generation. What the fuck are you talking about? You just gonna turn this into whatever the fuck you want to? Why are you trying to disrespect my birthright?
So let me respond.
Hello?
By your definition.
It's not my definition. It's not my definition.
By your definition, then.
It's not my definition.
If Africans and their children aren't any business of what's going on here.
Say that again? I'm
lost. Africans and their children have no business.
I didn't say that. I said I'm talking about reparations.
Yes,
that's my birthright.
Yes,
you're saying have no business here. I'm talking about reparations.
You're saying me as a descendant of an African.
You have no right to my birthrights as far as reparations.
Absolutely.
So when they bust that check open, it's going to be because of the blood that was shed on this land from my ancestors.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what's the problem with that?
And what you need to realize is that the people you're talking about, a large part of them were African.
Okay.
And they had children who are descendants of those Africans.
American descendants of slaves. Are you fucking dumb? Do you understand the word American?
slavery here?
Absolutely.
Are you fucking stupid now? Have you lost a fucking noggin? American slavery happened in fucking America, not Africa, nigga. Yes, nigga. Yes, nigga. So what the fuck are you talking about?
Yes. So what I'm trying to tell you is by your definition, saying that Africans and African Americans shouldn't have any part of one another's business.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying.
Let him talk, bro.
You would be making that shit. What are you talking about?
You would be cutting out hundreds of years of the reparations you're seeking.
I still don't understand what you're saying.
They weren't American.
Okay, that's why it's called ADOS.
Yeah.
We want to hold the people in America responsible. Yeah.
How can you hold them responsible for people who you're saying you have nothing to do with?
Because my ancestors.
You understand that?
Yes, I understand my name. It's called Simpson. I know that's directly. I know my lineage.
Whoa.
I know my lineage.
Not a black
it's a slap. Exactly.
And
You want to tell your last name? You want to tell your last name?
This is what I'm trying to say about Breadman.
You're still losing me, bro. It's called African descendants of slavery, bro. It didn't happen in Africa. It happened here. That's what we're fighting for reparations for.
I heard you.
You can't move it over there. You want to move it over here and move it over there. It's gonna happen here, nigga. Why y'all tight? What you mad for?
I don't give a fuck about ancestors. Let me take that back. I do care about ancestors. Pardon me. I don't give a fuck about what I'm saying.
In the end, Breadman is choosing to define his blackness by a white person's terms.
This nigga talking dumb.
White people, because they're paying money, they have to differentiate who specifically they're paying money to.
Black people created ADOS.
So they had to discern, you can get money, but you can't, because we can only link it to people who are directly affected by this, right? So he's choosing to define his blackness by white people.
Did you say geography?
Yo, come on.
Come on,
I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Stop.
Let me be quiet. Let me fall back.
Yeah, fall back. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, like, so, and this is why I say, like, anyone who's on the ADOS shit, it's just about, like you said, it's about the check. If there weren't a check attached to it, just like this shit wasn't popular like 3-4 years ago, this ADOS shit, because these people are trying to, like,
these people.
Yes, ignorant motherfuckers who don't really read much, who bring up receipts that have nothing to do with nothing. Like, you're choosing to define your blackness by a white person's terms.
Can I talk now, Flip?
So, no, you can't talk about it. So, let me ask you a question. Does his ancestors, because, you know, a lot of people like Simpson or Robinson, or we get our last names from white people. Slave masters. And so where do you think he thinks, and I'm going to ask him next, but do you feel that Breadman feel that his ancestors did not come from Africa?
He would have to if he's going to get reparations. That's what I mean. Like, if he wants reparations, he has to link himself to Africans. Or else you can't get that bread if you're not willing to acknowledge that these people are Africans. Because they've identified. See, our U.S. government. Our U.S. government identified the individuals for whom. Yeah. Like, that's how they're choosing to discern and come up with a dollar amount and who should get paid. There are ledgers. There's history. There's a whole lineage of facts and research that go behind who were slaves, who wasn't slaves, and that's who they're choosing to pay and determine how much. So to say like you don't care about Africa or Africans and they should mind their business.
Hold on, we better get to you, and he's not going to interrupt you. About to get right to you.
So then you're going to ignore, like, you're going to cut off like about 200 to 300 years of that reparations you're seeking, because that's none of your fucking business if it's Africans.
You don't sound right, but let me know when I can talk, man.
Salute to the Pan-African movement. I'm related to two personal experiences, and my main thing is get down and move around, especially when you want, our home ground, homeland. So it's either get down or move around. Black Americans have always had an open heart to not only master what we do here, but go and find, our so-called lineage back to the homeland. Salute to I-Speed. This is what we do. We hot. We can go anywhere in the world and do what we here do because it's the hardest place to do it. Everyone else flees here and they don't like to hear that truth, right? So I not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm speaking from personal experience. I just went viral for having a debate with a disingenuous racist Nigerian. Through that debate, I learned, right, doing the research while I was reposting, even the Africans will tell you that we are the only people that say just because we the same skin tone, that's my brother. So they know when they on their homeland that we are not the same, right? Just because we are the same color, that doesn't mean we the same people. And it's nothing wrong with that. But can you still unify? I believe that's what we should be doing. But if you're not down with the program, you got to move around. I just went and sat down with the Trinidadian people.
Brad, hold on. I'm gonna stop you right there because I got a question for you. Okay. What is one, because I heard you say you would like to see unity. I mean, you know, I would too, you know, if it came with a lot of other stuff. But I'm going to ask you this question. What is one actionable solution we can agree on? What you think is one thing Black Americans, FBA, and immigrants can agree on?
So what I did is I just sat down with the Trinidadians like 2 days ago, and so the response or the conversation that I had was extremely different from the Nigerian. So and we was able to have this conversation about are you black? How do you identify? How you feel about FBA? I was able to learn about reparations in their own homeland, and we based it off of the food. Um, a lot of people they do this shit online. They locked in a closet. They locked in their apartment. They type in the.
See, because we're speaking out now and gatekeeping our culture, and we hold these other groups accountable, all heck is breaking loose across the diaspora, right? I saw a video the other day where you had some people in the UK going back and forth with Nigerians. I saw some Nigerians in a heated, I'm talking about smackdown debate with South Africans. It was like South Africans versus everybody. And I keep telling y'all, we move the needle. When we start talking, when we start moving, everybody start moving. The sister from the UK, she wasn't dissing Black Americans. She was taking a cue from us and was going after the Nigerians because she was saying that the Nigerians was coming to the UK using Caribbean culture to erase their culture by putting their culture over. Basically just saying, well, it's all African anyway. They was amalgamating themselves right into Jamaican and Trinidadian culture while not even mentioning them. Right? And this is the stuff that's been happening here in America, right? So now because we're talking about it, everybody's talking about it now. Everybody's starting to delineate and hold things accountable because a lot of these Africans for a long time was trying to make us generic Africans. Now this ain't African hate. This is the same way you guys want to gatekeep Yoruba. You guys want to gatekeep Akan and Ashanti and all that stuff. Well, we want to gatekeep our accomplishments. Our accomplishment is not Africans' accomplishments. You guys wasn't here. Right? Our accomplishments, yeah, you can mention Shirley Chisholm. You can mention Marcus Garvey. You can mention all those people. They came here and became a part of something that was already established, something that already existed, right? So now you have Asians now starting to speak out. All these groups are starting to speak out, right, in appreciation for what Black Americans have been putting down because we've been blowing the trumpet now. And we're saying that we don't longer going to be the footstool for everybody else.
I always tell people the day the Latino, African American, Asian, and other communities realize that they share the same oppressor is the day we start winning. Because we are the majority in this country now. We have the ability to take over this country and to do what is needed for everyone and to make things fair. But the problem is our communities are divided. They're completely divided. And I talk about this all the time is that like for Asian Americans and for African Americans, we probably have one of the worst relationships between any community.
Well, I bet you a lot of Asian Americans too don't, in my experience, don't even realize that if it wasn't for the civil rights movement, if it wasn't for that,
yes,
there would not be 22 million Asian Americans in this
Thank
country.
you. Thank you. So, and what I have been trying to teach the Asian community is like, friends, do you understand that your success, your prosperity, your civil rights that you enjoy right now was paid for with Black,
yes,
right? And the fact that you don't recognize that shows you how much you take this for granted and how much you don't care about the future. Because
yes,
if you understood this, you would be grateful for their sacrifice and
Hey, what's up, YouTube? I'm gonna try my best to give y'all this commentary. I'm not in my office and my house is loud as hell, so it's almost impossible for me to record commentary at home. Because it's always chaos. I can't, you know what I mean? It's always either loud music, the kids are yelling, or whatever the case may be. But I wanted to touch in on this video about FBA versus, you know, Black immigrants or whatever, because I don't think this conversation is being had enough in regards to everyone wanting to have a say-so on whether Black Americans, descendants of slave here on this continent, okay, descendants of slaves here, receive reparations or not. And to me, I think it's very overstepping that people think they should have an opinion on something that they family didn't experience on this continent. Now, I get a lot of us are Black, right? You know, we grew up a certain way We may have grown up together. You may have been born here. You know what I'm saying? Your parents may have been born here, but your grandparents weren't. So we grew up doing and dealing with the same things, but when it comes to the things that are old here on this continent for descendants of slaves, that's an automatic. And we don't need to discuss with people in other, I wouldn't say ethnicities, of origins from around this world about whether we should receive reparations or not for the things that have happened to our ancestors on this continent. There was a lot of inequities that have happened. Is the reason why, the white folks have enriched themselves with property and land, and a lot of us are still struggling to even get off of public assistance if we are on it, which the numbers are extremely low as compared to everything else. But also I wanted to reference like the interview that Queen's Flip was having with damn, the guy's on the screen, but he was having an interview with another guy, I guess that's of African descent or Haitian descent, talking to him about the situation or whatever. But I thought Queen's Flip came off very biased, and it's almost like they were jumping him, and that's kind of whack. You know what I'm saying? Because Queen's Flip, he's from Brooklyn or whatever, but I think he's an immigrant, or his parents are immigrants, or whatever the case may be. The point I'm really trying to get to is you have no say so over what the descendants of slaves on American soil receive. You have no say so. And the fact that y'all even trying to block that, or putting up obstacles, and we have to go through difficult conversations in order for us to receive the compensation that our ancestors didn't receive through people that came over here after our ancestors already put in the work, is real disrespectful. The whole reason you are here is because of our ancestors, and this is no shade. This is just the facts. You are here because of the work that our ancestors have put in. The civil rights movement, things of that nature. You are not here for no other reason. So please be respectful when you're speaking about, yes, you may be Black American now, but some of us and our ancestors, parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents are from this land. I'm 25% Native American, the rest I'm Black, with a little mix of some other shit in them, but I'm a Black man. You know what I'm saying? There is compensation that is owed. I can tell you this, right? So I was pretty much like raised by my grandma. Pretty much raised by my grandma. Watched my grandma clean people's houses, and we lived pretty decent. She was a part of the housing authority up here for some years or whatever, but when I was born, my grandma was already in her late 50s, like 55, 56. Lived with my grandma for 21, well, not 21, 18 years. Pretty much raised by my grandma, right? Other parents was around too, but we was, my mom had us young, so my grandma pretty much raised us. And fast forward 2016, grandma get ill, and pass away. Well, I didn't know this at the time, but grandma didn't own the house. Grandma didn't own the house, right? She didn't own the house that we stayed in, that I grew up in. You know what I mean? She didn't own it. That's when that shit hit me right there. I like, damn, I wish it was something we could do. I pass by that house every day to go to work. And it burns me that I didn't have the equity, and how would I? You know what I'm saying? The equity to buy that, to keep it into the family. My grandmother didn't even have a chance. She wasn't handed that same equity, even though she fought for the same civil rights to enable people of African descent, Haitians, Trinidadian, all that shit, Asian, everything. Enable you to come over here to feel that entitled to speak on Black issues. Y'all need to be a little more respectful. That's all I'm saying. no, you know, your countries of origin didn't work out for you or your grandparents or your parents. That's okay. That was the whole point of the Civil Rights Act, you know. But to shit on the stuff that my grandmother and grandmothers and grandfathers and parents, like ones that raised me, to shit on that after you came over here benefiting from the work that they put in for you to come here is crazy work. You know what I'm saying? I can see if it was like, you know, we're just shitting on y'all. It's like y'all just like, well, like the fact that he can sit his big ass up on a microphone and actually think he can debate Black Americans about some shit that has nothing to do with him, it's crazy to me. That's real entitlement. I'm gonna need y'all, for people that's not foundational Black Americans, I'm gonna need for y'all to mind your business when it comes to that shit. And that's just being respectful. I'm not being disrespectful, but a lot of y'all overstepping the lines thinking that just because we are the same, that our, you know, ancestry, our history, and you know, our foundation of where we come from is the same. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and honestly, you know, if we want to, you know, be real transparent about it, whenever y'all get the opportunity to throw in, you know, us, you know, our faces as Black Americans, that we don't have no culture, y'all stay coming after us, bro. So why, whenever we decide to do something for ourselves, here y'all come trying to block? Why are y'all blocking us from doing what what our ancestors couldn't finish? You know, what our grandmothers and great grandmothers couldn't finish because they had other challenges. Why are y'all trying to stop that? You're literally doing the work of what the white man is doing. It's you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't know, it's counterintuitive and it's stupid. You know what I'm saying? You're literally biting the hand of the person that helped you get here. Is the dumbest shit. So you say you Black, okay, you Black American now, but now, okay, because you can't receive reparations or your people are not qualified to receive reparations, you think that gives you a sense of entitlement to tell me and mine what we can and cannot receive. Yo, you out your damn mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just respect at the end of the day. We don't, like he said, we don't go to Haiti or wherever, you know, your place of origin is and start stomping around like we like we're entitled to the land and all that other shit. We don't do that. You know what I'm saying? The culture, the clothing, everything that y'all got here is because of us. Hip hop, it's Black American shit. You know what I'm saying? Everything. Let's just be respectful is all I'm trying to say. Stop overstepping, especially when it comes to conversations and situations like this, because the only way that we can respond is to come right back at you. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure on your continent, in the UK, I think there's Blacks over there receiving reparations, and then you got immigrants over there, you know, doing y'all doing the same shit. It just makes no sense. If you're not adding to the cause, you're harming it, flat out. And the last thing we need to be doing is battling other Black people here about something that is historical and factual. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. You know, please be respectful. You know, navigate these conversations with ease and understanding. You know, and please understand, no matter how much we've been through the same things together, probably went to the same schools, knew you since I was 5, 6 years old, right? Our lineage is different. There's a lot of pain on this soil that my ancestors and people like my ancestors endured. You must be respectful of that. Chinese, Asian, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Brazilian, everyone else benefited from the hard work, dedication, consistency, pain, death, slavery that Black people went through first. Native Americans as well, to an extent, right? Just be respectful is all I'm asking. Ayo Bassel TV. I'm see y'all in the next one. Peace.